What's up, YouTube? Back with another video. Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl 59 recap. I'm gonna talk about what happened in the Super Bowl for the Kansas City Chiefs. Been a while since my last video, about 2 weeks. Yeah, it's because I took a break because there was the bye week. It was a Pro Bowl, and then this, and I didn't talk about the self-help for a while, but I'm gonna get back into that and get back into uploading. Just a little break, but let's get into what I saw and what I thought about the Super Bowl. I thought Pat didn't play well on the big stage, but he tried. He tried to be elaborate and clever and even strategic with the way he envisioned of playing. He wanted to try to pick apart the Eagles. He tried to improvise. He tried, because the O-line didn't hold up that well. Joe Thuney was left guard, playing left tackle and filling in. And I don't even know. He must have gotten like a Pro Bowl selection, but he could have gotten like a Pro Bowl selection for like a left tackle and an All-Pro selection for left tackle, because he's about to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and that's no joke. He's the real deal. So like he's on his way to Canton, and he's a really good lineman. And so just overall, I think that our team is great, and just I thought that the team is great, and that Pat didn't play well, and we didn't play up to the level that we expected and how we played before, because we only lost one game throughout the whole season up to that with Pat actually playing. The last game was against Denver, and we kind of just didn't start. We just didn't start our players just so the Bengals can get in, but like just to prove a point. But the O-line could have blocked better. Trey Smith could have blocked better. Like Creed Humphrey could have even blocked better, and he's pretty much perfect. He's the best center in all of football, and that's no question. Pro Football Focus every single year, without a doubt, since he's been a rookie. As a rookie, he popped off. Doesn't get the recognition he deserves. It's still. Like he's about to be like a Jason Kelsey kind of player. Like it's just insane. They should have blocked way better, and they fell apart almost like how they did against the Bucks and that Super Bowl. But Pat wasn't as heroic. I guess it doesn't matter if he's that heroic, because we still would have lost. And these passes that he threw didn't even get caught. Like the iconic sideline, like lying halfway in the air and throwing the ball, which is virtually impossible in the Super Bowl. Well, they're a Hall of Fame D-line, and one of the greatest teams put together was chasing him, and it was just a bunch of random O-line that we picked up. It doesn't matter. We still lost, and he still tried to play a different way, because he's been playing a different way. He's more strategic. He's trying to he's clever. He's trying to run anti-scheme. He's trying to stay in the pocket and be a pocket passer this time and just pass the ball. He only improvises if he wants to. He doesn't go down deep, because they played a shell coverage, as he discussed in his post-game interview for Gatorade. He discussed that he was trying to sit in the pocket, that they were doing a lot of shell coverage, so they were doing like a lot of like cover two almost looks, where it's either a cover two or it's a man where there's like two safeties high the whole time, and the whole time no safety drops into the middle, no safety drops into the box, no safety drops into shade as like almost like a DB into like a slot or anything. The safety is just high the whole time, and he's never moving around, and he's just trying to give up everything. Even they still couldn't even run because the O-line didn't look well. I don't know, the whole game just was a little weird. It was a little hard to watch. It was just because I don't even see how we fell apart, and I don't see how we even lost, because even when we were losing, it's like the defense was playing so well, and the defense was getting stops and doing their hardest. But Pat was just giving the Eagles offense good field position, and the O-line just wasn't blocking anybody. And I think the D-line was the best part of this Eagles defense. It's the best part of their defense the few Super Bowls ago. But I think their back end is way better, with Chauncey Gardner, with Reed Blankenship, Darius Big Play Slade, Quinyon Mitchell, the big time rookie, Cooper DeJean, and even the linebacker Zach Bond is good. I don't know, it was a little bit weird. The defense was young, and you got to pick apart the young and hungry Eagles defense. He was 21 for 32, 3 touchdowns, 2 INTs. He did pick it up in the second half, in the fourth quarter mainly. He played a lot better in the fourth quarter than he did in the other quarters, because the first and second quarters were awful. The receivers tried to get involved, but they're up and down, mainly down. Xavier Worthy played well. I'm going to discuss his stats later on, but Xavier Worthy was excellent, and he did a good job, and he really showed why he's the future for the Chiefs receiving room, and why he deserved to be on a big stage and get so much reps, and why we use him so much throughout the season, because he's excellent. He's a great receiver. He's not just a speed guy. I think he can run any route in the route tree. He just needs to work on his hands sometimes, just for the deep ball, just more concentration. Not even necessarily just natural hands or late hands, just more concentration, more eye contact on the ball, and catch with the ball with your eyes. And just he can run a 7 route. He can run like a corner. He can run a post or post corner. He post corner post. He can run. He can run a whip. He can run anything. Like you can motion him. You can use him out the backfield. You can toss him the ball. You can run jets. You can return. He can do it all. I think he has like a Tyreek Hill skill set, but he's not as powerful and as big as Tyreek Hill. But also like McCole Hardman was the same thing. But I think he's way more talented than McCole Hardman because he's just faster and just a better football player than McCole Hardman is. And we didn't see much of him. The defense did a good job considering the field position that they were given, as I spoke about. They try to be resilient and they try to get the offense back in the game, but there's not that much they could do given the fact that of just how the offense played. But they did look fine. They didn't look awful. They still look like a dynasty and like a championship DNA defense and like an elite defense in the league like they've been the past few years. It's just it's tough in that situation that they're played in. And just even the Eagles' offense is just hard to stop because they do a lot of RPOs, they do a lot of touch pushes, and they go for it a lot on fourth down. It's just their team is built for that. They have a super team, and it's built for things like Dallas Goedert with Devontae Smith and AJ Brown and then Saquon. So it's like you can run the ball with Saquon and then get AJ Brown involved on the deep routes, and then get Dallas Goedert can also run deep. Devontae Smith is a good route runner. He can run short. He's good hands. He gets separation a lot, and he's a good 2 for AJ working the 1 and AJ getting double teamed. So it's the whole team is just tough. It's tough to scheme, especially when Pat plays like that and when the offense looks like that. Travis Kelce, Travis Kelce didn't look great. Hopefully he wants to come back for the next season and more if possible, because he got a couple catches later on, but in the beginning he was dropping a lot of passes. The balls were low, but he could have played better, and yeah, the offense could have looked better, of course. Let's get into the stats. Patrick Mahomes was 21 for 32, 257 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 INTs. Jalen Hurts played well. He was 17 for 22, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. His passes were very perfect. I liked where they did a scene where they were just showing his passes throughout the game and just how there was so much velocity on the ball, so much just torque on the ball, and the ball just spun it spun in a complete spiral the whole time, and it had a nice dip just to get into receiver's hands. It hit him in stride, and it was layered, and the position and the placement was perfect. It just didn't ruin the receiver's whole timing of catching the ball and getting yards and just moving in transition, and the whole thing was smooth. He was very efficient with his passing, and he's grown into a great passer and one of the best quarterbacks in the whole entire league, and now he has a ring to his name. Jalen Hurts had 11 carries for 72 yards and 1 touchdown. Patrick Mahomes had 4 carries for 25 yards. So he did well on the ground game. He had a great run where he ran around and kept moving around the back. And then did some wiggles and some moves up the field. It was just a great play. Xavier Worthy had 8 receptions for 157 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Devontae Smith played well, 4 receptions for 69 yards and 1 touchdown. We didn't do well running the ball other than Pat. Like with the running backs, Kareem Hunt was 3 carries for 9 yards. Ramondre Piran was 1 carry for 8 yards. Isaiah Pacheco was 3 carries for 7 yards. You got to run back. You got to run block, so then it sets up the pass game. You can't be one-dimensional, especially against a team like that. Travis Kelce had 4 receptions for 39 yards, 9 yards in average. DeAndre Hopkins had 2 receptions for 18 yards, 9 yards in average, 1 touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster had 2 receptions for 16 yards, 8 yards in average. Hollywood Brown had 2 receptions for 15 yards, 7 yards in average. Kareem Hunt had 1 reception for 5 yards in average. Isaiah Pacheco had 1 catch for 5 yards in average. Noah Gray had 1 catch for 2 yards in average. So we threw to different receivers. We still threw to all of our guys. We still got everybody incorporated into the offense, and it was a whole team. And you use multiple receivers, and we have a lot of good players on this team, a lot of good pass catchers. But it still wasn't enough, and I think Noah Gray is he should have been used more, and he's a threat, and he's a great player, and we saw him throughout the regular season, and he looked dominant throughout the regular season. And I expected to see more of him in this game, especially just to throw them off, but it just didn't happen. Yeah, and Drew Tranquil got a sack. That's good for Drew Tranquil. I think that was our only sack, but that's good for him. He got a sack in the Super Bowl, and his story's just been great of how he came over from the Chargers and how he's had so much success with the Chiefs. Again, to the team stats, we had 275 total yards. They had 345 total yards. 226 passing yards. They had 210. 49 rushing yards. They had 135. 5.6 yards per play. They had 4.9. 12 first downs. They had 21 first downs. 3 for 11 on third down efficiency. They were 3 for 12. So weren't good on third down efficiencies. 0 for 1 on fourth down. They're 0 for 1 on fourth down. 49 plays. They had 70. 2 sacks allowed. They had 6 sacks allowed. So I guess we did get another sack. I guess I'm forgetting. I think it's Deshaun Wharton. It might have been Deshaun Wharton who got the other sack, but I'm forgetting. 6 punts. They had 2. 7 penalties for 75 yards. They had 8 penalties for 59 yards. 1 fumbles lost. They had 0. 2 interceptions thrown. They had 1. Time of possession was 36-23. So they completely dominated us. And then I'm gonna get lastly into the last topic, where it was what our offseason should look like. Video's going up a little bit over 10 minutes. I think what our offseason should look like is, I think our offseason we should start by looking into the draft, just looking into maybe getting some tackles, some more offensive line play. Like, our offensive line wasn't bad. Like, we don't need to necessarily draft right there. We can also hit in free agency, or just look for maybe even a trade. But I wouldn't do it for a trade. But look in free agency. But like, our offensive line was fine because it just fell apart in the big game. So just it could be more what's done in the training camp. Looking to draft for maybe some more offensive line pieces, just to help the offensive line be more versatile, and then let more room for recovery, so that they can have breaks, and then they can just transition almost like a hockey team, and just like, you still gel together, but like they're not tired and they're not gassed going against these crazy defensive linemen nowadays. Hitting the draft for positions, I would say we don't really need that much in position. Maybe another pass rusher with Chris Jones. Maybe another running back just in the depth chart. Receiver you can always get, and pretty much nothing else. Maybe another corner. That's about it, or another safety. But we look fine. We look fine there as well. So it's like our team's really built for success. And then free agency, maybe look for like a big name that's a good pickup, just to help change the game. Because just one star name, just someone who does their job and then maybe accounts for other people, so they can spill over. And then just a championship DNA, or just a great player in the locker room, he can really spill over, because he's gonna have a big role. He's gonna pop off. He's gonna do more than what he should, and he carries the load for some players. And with a team like this, a dynasty like this, he can help us get us back to this position, just to at least get us back to this position, so we have a chance of success again. Because we're just right there, and we're really close. And then put in the work at the training camp, and just be ready for when the season starts, and get to the grind again, and get back to the spot. Just keep going. We have a dynasty, and just keep going, keep growing. Get better than you were last season. Grow as a team. Grow as a person. Always put in the work. Stay disciplined, and have passion for what you're doing. Yeah, that's it for the video, and that's gonna be it for me talking about the Chiefs for now. I'm gonna stick with self-help. Maybe do an album review. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for sticking with the channel. I appreciate all you guys. Peace out.